Happy Friday, you guys. I have a really good message for y'all today, and I just really implore y'all to stay and listen to this because this is really good. This will be a little long, but I promise you it's worth your while. Unfortunately, we live in a world where people do not like when you are vulnerable. People will say that being vulnerable is a weakness, that you are just playing the victim. A few years ago, I had shared my story with somebody about something in my life that had happened to me and that caused me a lot of trauma. When I shared with this person what had happened to me, she said that being vulnerable allows us as humans to connect with others. I was taken back whenever she told me this because I am so used to people being very dismissive and very cold, not really caring what I have to say. I've always remembered that when she told me that, I always just thought that was just so beautiful for her to say that because it is so true. Being vulnerable, it does allow us to connect with other people. And if we're just always on our phone or we go hang out, like nowadays when you go hang out with someone, a lot of people just want to be on their phones. It's just like there's not really any connection there. And that is exactly what the devil wants. I'm going to read to you guys 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 through 10. This is Paul's thorn in the flesh. And lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord 3 times, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, For my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly therefore will I rather glorify in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, and reproaches, and necessities, and persecutions, and distresses, and for Christ's sake. For Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Verse 9, whenever the Lord says, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness, that is so true. Because every single time I've been at my weakest, I've always clinged to the Lord. And I've always found strength in it. Because when we have everything together, when we have everything perfect in our lives, everything's going well, we are not always going to want to cling to the Lord. There's a lot of people who are, have it all together, famous in life, and a lot of times they feel like because they have all the money and they're rich and everything like this, that they don't need to go to God because they have everything. Everything is good in their eyes. But when we don't, when we're poor or we are gone through a very traumatic thing in life, we tend to cling to the Lord and lean on the Lord more. Never let the world convince you that being vulnerable is a weakness, because it is not. It is truly bravery, and it is truly how we connect with other people. I want to give you guys a little bit of my testimony. So today my daughter would be 8 years old. I lost my daughter when she was 6 months old, and I was only 20 years old when I lost my daughter. And this completely broke me. I was so numb. I turned to drugs and alcohol and all the things. But the only one who helped me to keep pushing on in life and to be strong was the Lord. So when we share our testimony and our story as Christian, it encourages other people to share theirs. We should never bury how we feel. We should never have to hide our story. It is beautiful to share your story. The Lord says, He says, For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Share your story, and it will encourage other people to share their story. And it is truly bravery to want to share your story to the world. Remember, as Christians, we are not of the world, so we should never be taking advice from people that are of the world. The world will try to convince you that you think that you're this victim, that you shouldn't share your story. but the world is cold.